This pandemic made everybody realize that we are all capable of change, of, handling change. It's just that we've been programmed to stay in our comfort zone. And because of the pandemic, it completely forced everybody. I mean, nobody was spared. At home, the families, the workplaces, businesses, everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do in life. You were just, led to adjust, to adapt to what was happening to the world, the whole world. I mean, the burden was the pandemic for me. And the blessing was everything that came to being of who you became as a mom, as a wife, as a professional, as a teacher, whatever it is, your role you're playing in your life. It gave us an opportunity to be better than who we were before the pandemic.
I think there are three kinds of people that's going through this pandemic, right? One that's saying, this is not my fault. I'm so freaking angry. Why does this have to happen to me? And so he's sitting there trying to be all angry. The second type of person is someone who's really waiting for things to go back to normal. I know, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna be cool. I'm just gonna wait for things to go back to normal. But the third type of person is the one that there's something in this for me, right? I'm gonna be better when this pandemic is over, and there's just so much to learn about myself, about what I could offer to the world. I think I went through those three phases when the pandemic started. Mom and Dad always says it's God's perfect plan and God's perfect timing. Right, Dad?
Yes.
Amen. Okay, with that, I think I've said enough. Now, let me just share with you my thoughts about burden to blessing. There are two kinds of burden that I know from my experience. A burden happens because of two things. The environment or the people around you cause it, or my decisions and bad choices could also cause it. Now, the blessings, there's only one source of blessings, and I believe it's always from above. It's from God. So whatever burdens we have, or I have, the blessing of God will always be needed to surpass or overcome that burden. So I don't have to cite personal experiences because there are a lot of them. I'm already going 75, and you can just imagine the burdens I made for myself and for those people I love, and also the blessings, see? But the point is, it's like this. The bottom line for me is, whatever the burden is, connectedness to God should always be there.
So we've talked about all of the different blocks to a loving family, but I just want to be able to experience it, how it could be a block, all right? So starting with the first block.
The first block is criticism.
And the second block is control.
The next block is hostility.
And then there's indifference. And then we have selfishness.
As you can see, we're all starting to block each other. Mine is disrespect. And blocks becomes into walls. Now you can't see us anymore. Now you can't see your family member because all you see is criticism, control, disrespect, indifference, selfishness, and hostility. So it's very dangerous. Just a review on how we're turning our blocks into bridges. Maybe we could just show them on how to be able to build bridges.
Instead of criticism, choose compliments.
Instead of control, let us choose trust.
Instead of disrespect, choose respect and humility.
Instead of indifference, choose compassion.
Instead of hostility, choose understanding.
Instead of selfishness, choose selflessness and an abundant mindset. You know, when you're in a relationship, day in and day out, you're managing every kind of relationship, and understanding the love language of the other person makes our life just so easier, right? If you know how to make the other person feel loved and cared for, the guessing game just stops. So sometimes when you feel like you're exerting so much effort, and you feel like the other person is not appreciating it much, it's not really about that, and you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that you may be showing or you may be speaking a different language that the other person wants to receive. So the 5 love languages is actually about how a person wants to receive love, how they want to feel love.
Again, we encourage you to do the quiz and do it with your loved ones. So we're just going to wrap this episode up as we go through the 5 love languages again, and we're going to flash it onto the screen. Each love language, how to communicate it, and what actions to take for you to be able to make sure that your loved ones really feel loved by you.
So if your love language is words of affirmation, or your loved one's love language is words of affirmation, you can communicate by encouraging them, making affirmations for them, showing them appreciation, empathize with them, and listen attentively. The actions you can take that are specific are send an unexpected note, a surprise text, or give them a card. Genuinely encourage them very often.
All right, the next one is physical touch. And how you communicate it is basically nonverbal. You use body language and touch to express your love for the other person. You know, touches like a hug, a kiss, holding hands, showing physical affection often, and making them feel that intimacy is a priority for you, and it's a very thoughtful priority for you. That's how they would feel love.
Next is receiving gifts, and we can express this through thoughtfulness, making our spouse a priority, and speaking purposefully. The actions that we can take is give thoughtful gifts and gestures. Small things matter in a big way. Express gratitude when receiving a gift.
Mommy and Daddy's top 2. Right.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we need to take note of, because now we know both mom and dad likes to receive gifts. So we should be able to give that to them.
Okay, next. Quality time. It's uninterrupted and focused conversations. Time is critical. And how do you show it? So you have to create special moments together. Take walks and do small things with your partner. Weekend getaways are huge.
Okay, so the last love language is the acts of service, and how to communicate effectively is use action phrases like "I'll help." Okay, and keep in mind that help is a big word, so you have to be very clear what kind of help you need, and they want to know you're with them or partnered with them. Actions you can take could be do chores together, or make them breakfast in bed. Go out of your way to help alleviate their daily workload.